said to me there in the room, you was like, I talked to you out there because I just said, I want to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. I want it to happen on camera.
You wanted this to be this electric moment of us.
I feel like, when was the last time I saw you? And we always loved each other. Let's let the love happen on camera.
All right, good. Let's do it. I miss you. You look great,
and
pal.
I always want to say thank you. Congratulations. You 10 years?
Oh,
that's like
great.
a big
No,
thing.
thank you. Very lucky, very, very lucky.
No. You really grew it into something great.
Thany you, bud. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you pulled that ZB radio bit out of the toilet at the last minute. I thought that was going down.
That was going downhill. Here we go. What are we going to do with that? You've always been supportive and a good friend of mine, but one of the things I'll never forget, and I really kicked myself, because during COVID, and I will say this, you did some of the best shows during COVID.
Oh,
well done, man. It was so great. Your writing staff, everything, the jokes were good, but the shows were so good in a time when we really needed you, dude. You were amazing. So congratulations on that. It was great. I loved it. I watched every show with Nancy, my wife. We loved it. You're brilliant, dude.
I always say, COVID, good times, huh?
No, that's not what you always say. But I did a thing where I climbed up a tree in one of my episodes.
That contest we had?
Yeah. And Nancy.
Well, tell them why. Because because of the forever flu, we had to like retreat to our homes because we couldn't be around people.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we were in our backyards.
Correct.
I was in my backyard. We have trees. We're like, oh well, we'll make a bit out of the tree.
Yeah.
And
I climbed up a tree and did a thing and blah blah blah. And then you sent me a video. I think we have a clip. Here's Bill Maher starting the tree challenge.
I saw Jimmy Fallon a couple of nights earlier did his opening from the tree, and I don't like to repeat, so I love Jimmy, but let's have a little contest. Whoever can get higher in the tree gets to own the tree for whatever bit you want to use. You get higher, you own the tree. Until then, tree's mine. It's on, bitch.
We had to do what we had to do.
Believe me, if anyone knows about getting high in a tree, it's me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I ended up with just saying, hey, thanks. Just when I never climbed higher. By the way, I barely was 2 feet off the ground in my little tree. That was scary for me. And Nancy got so mad. She's like, I can't believe you didn't respond to Bill Maher. We love him. Like, you know him forever. Like, and I go, he doesn't, and I don't have your number. So I didn't get a hold of you and say, I'm sorry.
That can't happen on camera.
But I do.
After we should be
we've had so many fun times out. We always talk about music when we get together. And I just heard that you were hanging out with one of my all-time faves, Paul McCartney. Yes, exactly. That's the reaction.
You go right to the star. That's why I love you. That's why I love this. No.
Exactly.
Well, Woody Harrelson called me up and he said, you know, tomorrow he's going to be Woody and I own this pot store. Well, he's the majority owner, and John McEnroe and I are minority owners, and really we do nothing but lose money. But that's another story.
Yeah. But what is it? Just like a...
The Woods. It's the best pot store in the world. It's in L.A.
Oh, a pot store.
Pot, yeah.
Sorry, I think you said a pod store. I thought it was like Nespresso pods or something.
No.
A pod store. Pot store.
Pot, yeah. A dispensary, if you will. But it's a gorgeous place. Anyway, so he was there, Paul was there, and you know, I think everybody has the same thing when you meet Paul McCartney. You hear about it, you know it's going to happen. You know, you think you'll be cool. What?
Did you just fan out?
Well, and then you walk in the room and you see him and you immediately your pants. And they know it's going to happen. He travels with 2 guys who clean it up. It's a
very popular occurrence. Yeah, you're submitting the Beatle.
No, they do, and then after that's taken care of, then you can sit down and have a nice conversation.
But his voice and everything is just cool, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're doing a Beatles impression. You're like, no, that's how he talks. He is Paul McCartney.
And he's nice.
He actually is,
You know, somebody I know very close to me said, they had dinner with him years ago, and they said, oh, boy, I thought he was kind of full of himself, so I didn't know what to expect. He could not have been less full of himself.
No, he's just interested in other people and fun, and that's wild. So he was there, and what was he shopping?
No, I don't.
What was he doing in the pot store?
I don't remember. We were...
Research?
No. I don't think he smoked. I don't know. See, I did, so I don't remember. But I think he definitely used to be a huge pothead.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that ended at some point. I don't think he was smoking that night.
I want to talk about your book, bud. Congratulations. First of all, great cover. What this comedian said will shock you. Can you explain the title?
Well, I just thought it was funny because I thought it was time we mocked clickbait.
Yeah.
You know, the book, I've avoided doing this for a long time because it's a lot of work plugging books and writing books and stuff. But I wanted to wait till there was like so many of these editorials I do at the end of my show. People always said you should gather them together and make a book out of it. And I do work awfully hard on them. And they are about everything under the sun. This is like an encyclopedia of every good thing I ever said.
This is over 20 years of your editorial.
Almost, yeah, something like that. But I was able, just to take the creme de la creme, because it's so much time, it's LOL on every page. That's what people tell me. I wanted something that would really make people laugh like that. And a great gift for Father's Day.
Yeah, you're talking. See, that's what I'm talking about. But you cover a lot of ground in the book. It's not just politics.
No.
You write about the environment. You write media, technology, even love.
Love. Oh, there's some funny ones in love. I was just rereading the one about digisexuals. Do you know what that is?
Digisexuals.
Digisexual, or also called robosexual.
No.
Well, these are these are people who are not interested in human contact. You ever see the movie Her?
Yes.
Where he falls in love with his phone?
Of course.
Okay, people like that, they really exist in the world. There's a guy in China, couldn't find a wife, he built one. There's a woman in France, she made a guy out of a 3D printer. There's a woman in Germany who says she is erotically, romantically in love with a Boeing 737. Which I can somewhat understand, planes are sexy, but a Boeing?
That's low. That's really low. You don't want this.
But they
a Concorde or something.
they consider themselves like the next sort of minority group that wants rights. The one guy said, asking me to be with a human would be like asking a gay man to marry a woman. They're here, they have gears, get used to it.
Yeah.
And there's also these dolls now, you know, these because AI and because of robotics, like a sex doll. I mean, this is not your father's sex doll. You know, just that thing. Not that.
Someone's going to make that doll, Bill, and you're going to regret doing it.
What someone's going to do is take that picture and put it up as a meme.
The internet always wins, yeah.
But there's ones now that are so lifelike. I mean, there's a woman one that can simulate an orgasm, just like a real woman.
Yeah, exactly, right, yeah. I love that you are interested in stuff like this, though. That's the type of thing you're like, no, dude, because someone will bring that up, I go, that's interesting, or whatever, and I'll just go. But you're like, no, let's dive into that. I want to know about this. What's happening? But then you make a monologue about it, and it's brilliant.
Well, thank you. I mean, I do take pride in the fact that a lot of this stuff in here is stuff that I was in front of, you know, as an issue, including Trump will never concede in an election.
No,
I mean, I was the one who kept saying that, and they kept laughing at me for saying that. You're an alarmist, but it turned out to be true, and it's even more true now.
Yeah.
But, you know, also pot, religion, you know, these kind of issues, I think that medicine and food and, you know, their connection and, you know, so...
With the debate coming up, the two debates, they agreed to two debates. What do you think is the question that needs to be asked?
That's the one. Will you give up power? Because plainly he won't, but we have to get the party, or try to get the Republican Party on that page a little bit, and they're going the other way. All these people who you see who are auditioning to be his vice president, they ask them that question, will you concede the election? And they always say now, they have a standard line, well, I will if it's a free and fair election, which is a way of saying...
I'm not.
I'm not. Yeah, if we win.
Right.
Elections only count when we win. We can't have that in this country. That can't be America.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So.
There's a lot, obviously, to be pessimistic about in the world today. But what brings you optimism? What makes you optimistic? What do you look forward to?
Mostly drugs, but also...
There's a chapter on that as well.
You know, I mean, if there's any theme to this, I would say it's that I want to end... I'm just tired of hating. You know, half this country seems to hate the other half.
Yeah.
And we have to remember that, you know, America is a family, and the definition of a family is people who hate each other without resorting to violence.
That is correct.
the shining crown of America.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, you have to understand to share the country with ass you can't stand.
Yeah, we're different.
And we're different, and people are raised differently, and they have different backgrounds, and they have different ways of looking at life, and you're not going to convince them, and they're not going to leave the country if the other side loses the election. So we have to get along and mingle a little.
Yeah.
You know, we don't mingle with the other side. No one would wear a MAGA hat in here, right? I mean, and nobody would wear a Biden T-shirt in, I don't know, Tennessee or something.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place for the country to be. Mingle, you know. Even like when I see the ads for the dating sites, like, you know, farmers only. Only? Really? Like unless you're milking something right now, I don't even want to talk to you. What is that? That's not a way to be.
Yeah, you want more options.
I mean, they have it with religions and all this stuff. I mean, we have to see ourselves as a family again.
Good for you. If you want a good laugh, check out this book. It'll get everyone having fun. Congrats on the podcast, too, bud. Club Random.
I appreciate it.
It's
We should
great.
do it sometime.
I'd love to do it with you, bud. We'll talk about everything. Bill Maher, everybody. What this comedian said will shock you. Is available now. We'll be right back with Rose Byrne. Stick around.